adjust the bloody monitor. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Great to have you. Great to be back. Fat Cappy, what's going on? Oh, no, the camera's gone. And we're back. Okay. Sam, what's going on, dude? Marlon? Hello, hello. Let me know if all the audio is working okay. Back at it again with another weekly stream. For those that are just joining, I might start mentioning stuff earlier on in the stream. Like, this is a weekly stream. We do it every week. Mondays, 10:45 a.m. Australian Central Standard Time, which is Sundays 4:30 p.m. PST. Just for the new people sort of rocking up and getting into it. Artistic, going good. Going good. Orange Low, great to have you. CN Car, thank you very much. Alright, yeah, going good, man. Going good, Fat Cappy. Alright, so I'll let Maz Design, hello from Italy. Great to have you. DPK, how you doing? So I've got dual references here at the moment, dude. It's Christian Knee. It's Christian Mother Loving Knee. How you doing, man? I got to set up Discord so I can just have people pop in. I got it. That's the goal for next week. The goal from next week: set up Discord so we can have like walk-ins, like a sitcom. Choco Chris, hello from the Philippines. What's going on? Great to have you. Alex, what are we drawing today? Hi from New South Wales. Hello, Sam. Hello from Adelaide. All right. So last week we had to play around with a few different little things. This is just for the thumbnail. Don't worry about that. So we did a little bit of this sort of curving of the form, right? The twist, let's say, more so, right? So if we had the really exaggerated version of what we did, right? We've got this here, the real twist curve kind of deal going on, right? So we were playing around with that, did some real loose, shapely color stuff, which was fun. Now, what I would like to do is something similar today. Basically, what I did is I saw a couple of references. I love this. This really stood out to me. It's like a slice of life. It's really nice because you could like contrast it a little bit with the background. Okay, so I might even want to take this one a little bit further. But I also saw this one, which was a really nice example of like subtle foreshortening, right? So my hand's back here, like this sort of stuff, like the foreshortening. So I'd like to play around with this. And I also saw this guy. This has kind of been a theme through a couple of streams. I've seen this kind of style, right? We can play around with very graphic shapes. So I'm thinking maybe. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I reckon we go. I'm liking the cadence of doing the warm-ups first, which we've been doing. That's been good fun. Get into the warm-up, because if I'm honest, this is the first time I've drawn since last stream. I've been a busy boy. So, But this warm-up, we'll do two types of warm-ups. We'll do a sketchy warm-up, just with line, and then we'll do a shape warm-up, just with shape. And then we can bring them all together with this dude, maybe at the end. That could be a nice little plan for the stream. Now, asking where references are. Let's have a squiz. Where, if I come here, they should all be in this Pinterest board. Stream reference. All right, you should be able to find them all in here. So I'll whip that little link in there for you guys to peruse. Kentas, what's going on? I'm doing great. Hope you're doing good as well. Wait, like any of us in the Discord could stop by? Not necessarily. I'm thinking like the people that I allow. It's not going to be like a free-for-all necessarily. But yeah, still figuring out the logistics. If I'm honest, I haven't looked at the logistics. Which also means I haven't figured it out. So that's it's not an untruth. Brandon Narsing. Hey Ben, do you ever warm up with just color blocking shapes of your references? Oh, I do it. We've been doing that actually quite a bit the last couple of streams. And we might do some today as well. Fernando, what's going on? Thungans, welcome back. Okay, so I'm thinking we whip a little 15-minute timer. Now, this is off-stream what I would do. Typically, just because I've got a little bit less screen real estate, so I don't typically do this on stream. But I would get... I'll share this as well. I'll share. There's no reason why I can't. I've got traditional pen and ink Pinterest board here, which gives me like just good cues, you know, just a little bit of that sprinkling of inspiration juice that's going to get me through. But I can just peek over and look at it as I'm doing some of these line work warm-ups, or as I'm doing this line work warm-up that we're going to be doing momentarily. All right, I think I'm going to do the warm-up with this lady. Or am I? Or this man? I think... yeah, this is more graphic shape. I could do graphic shapes with this as well. Let's just do this. This is going to be fun. All right. So, because you've got a lot of stuff coming towards us, going away from us, subtle facial expression. All right. Yep, that's deal. Done. Excuse me. What layer are you on? Get it, you cheeky fucking... All right. That's not an important layer, is it? Oh, nah, it's not really this fun. Get rid of that. Delete it. Okay, now. 15 minutes sound fair? Lewis Kirk started going back to doing stylized portrait studies. Fantastic. So you're about to start drawing. What do you do to help prevent overthinking? Just do it. I mean, it's simple. It's not easy. And most of the time, well, for you guys in particular, it's not on stream. No one's looking at it. So it doesn't matter. It matters, but it doesn't matter in the best way possible. So let me just get my timer up. My countdown timer. 15 minutes on the clock. You should all be able to see that. Okay, let's see for you Instagram people, if you're crazy enough to be following along on Instagram. Get that in view for you. There we go. Heebie-jeebies the clown. I don't know, that caught my eye. I like the name. Okay. Heebie-jeebies. I'll give you another moment to get situated, get your programs open, get your paper sorted, get your pencils in check, get them sharpened, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, get your coffees, your stimulants. And let's think game plan. All right, game plan before we start. I am going to move over a little bit, first of all. I'm going to be looking at encapsulating the shape first, so as not to like elongate stuff too much. Then I'm going to break it down into angles. So I'm going to be looking at the angles of things, where this knee, shout out Christian, where this knee is sort of angled out down to the shin, all right? Where this arm is angled, angle. Is it going to turn out super stylized? I don't know. I tend to, like, if I'm not really thinking about it, I'll slip back into old habits of doing realism, which isn't a bad thing. It's all good practice. But this is why I've got this stylized reference here on the side. So let's get a good few of them up. All right. But a good tip found is to differentiate practice. Use performance mode to apologize. Alley Cat. Differentiate practice versus performance mode too. Apologies for interruptions. Yeah. Now, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, I agree. Okay. Marlon's ready. Fantastic. Got the T. Artistic. I'm actually curious to see you draw some realism. Yeah, I think it's valuable to do, so we might do some of that. Pavidakin, welcome. All right, enough chatting. We're ready. Three, if not, starting without you. All right, 3, 2, 1, boom. Timer's going. Okay. So what did I say that I was going to do first? The encapsulation, right? You can do this just in your head, or you can draw the bloody thing. Up to you. Right, now it doesn't have to be completely enveloped. Right, see how I kind of like cut through the shoulders here, and as you sort of start to understand anatomy a little bit more, you can play. I don't know, you could do whatever you want, really. It depends what you enjoy doing, the way things click for you. Certain things will click in certain ways for certain people. Alright, so I'm gonna go sketchy mode today. I'm not gonna try and do it all sort of super clean. We've only got bloody 15 minutes. We don't have time to mess around. Or we do have time to mess around, but we don't have time to be all bloody specific with every. But also you can do that. Again, it depends. All right, head direction, boom. That little ear trick that I've said in the past. Here, what side of the face are we seeing? Put that ear in. It automatically gives you a nice little direction of where the head's gonna be. All right. Neck is in front. Now I think I'm gonna give myself permission to knock this back on a separate layer, maybe. Hand, floor, check. Arm, a little too short, can fix later. Tank top, boom, gives us some of those indications of the crease, the bending of the torso. Forearm, Just a really long triangle. That's all it is. Hand. This wonky kind of shape. Alright. Calf. Another elongated triangle thing. Foot. Another elongated. There's a lot of triangles going on. Okay, this is going back in space. Foot. Another triangle. Okay, so we've got things going in front, things going behind, all sorts of things happening. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you again. I'm going to start saying this more and more as well. I said it in the beginning. These streams happen every week. If you do enjoy this, having a little bit of a chin wag, a little bit of a study session. Let's flip the canvas. See if this is feeling good. It's feeling okay. I wouldn't say good. It's feeling acceptable for now. Same time every week. If it's a Sunday, we're streaming. If it's a Monday, we're streaming, depending on where you're at. Monday in Australia, we're streaming. Sunday in America, or that time zone, we're streaming. Okay, so I think it's time to whip in a bit of that facial expression. Not even gonna be, I mean, what is that? Not acceptable. Nose. Cheek. Head. Eye socket. Ear. Alright, I guess you could say this is a gesture. We're doing some gesture stuff. Erase. Do the old school layer technique. Just get a big bloody eraser. Don't even worry about it. Sam, you bloody legend. There is a backlog, but also I've learnt a lot since, like, a lot of those backlogs. So take it with a grain of salt, but also they're not they're not like lessons. So enjoy them for what they are. Enjoy this for what it is. More of a hang. A hang and study. So yeah, been Drea, May 1st is going to be like a closed beta, which is exciting. So that's been taking up all my time, which is completely fine. I'm loving it. All right, so we've got a very small list of people that we're going to send it out to first. It's not even going to be, I wouldn't even call it a beta, it's like an alpha. Been knocking out all the little bits and pieces and all the things that just decided to break when I go and change certain things, which always happens. It's part of the game. But because we've got our own video player and we're doing all the encoding and stuff on our end for like uploaded videos, I've got such an appreciation for YouTube now. Like not like I didn't before, but I never really thought about it. But just all the work that has to go in to streaming video, not like live streams, but just like when you click a video to watch, it's got to stream that. It doesn't all load at once, or it should be sitting there forever. It streams it all in chunks, little bits at a time, and that's where you have like that buffering bar. And just that alone, fucking nightmare. Like Francis has been knocking that out like an absolute champion. He's head of video at Drea, definitely, because that's well above my pay grade. But yeah, that's all coming together. with the integrated comments, which is sick. I do want to figure out how I could add like inline comments to like video, like YouTube embeds. I think that could be useful. Also figured out how to embed spline 3D models and 3D scenes. If you guys haven't tried out Spline, very cool app. Highly recommend. It's like what's a good analogy? It's like it's a lot easier to use than Blender, but you can get the feel for like 3D objects pretty quickly, and you can like make them shareable. Like very, very, you can whip stuff together, and you can also do like game mechanics in a way as well. So you can attach it to cursor positions and embed it on websites and blah, 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 blah. Interesting stuff. Anyway, this stuff might not make sense to anyone right now. My apologies if I'm just jabbering on. We've got 6 minutes to go, and we're trying to make something look half decent. Okay, so back to, whoa. Where are we? There we are. See, this is more on the kind of not realism, but it's not super pushed. I'm not worried about pushing stuff a crazy amount. It's a warm-up. I mean, this arm could be pushed a little bit more, you know, and just like make it more interesting. But what I'm most concerned about is the in fronts and behinds. In fronts and behinds. This arm is in front of this knee, which is, this knee is in front of this foot. Right, same deal here with the legs. Now this here with this little crease always gets me with the knee. I either do it too far up and it just makes that look weird, the knee. So I've just got to really restrain myself and think about the underlying structure. Anyway, we don't have time to think about that at this point in time. Let's flip her back. So yeah, flip the reference, flip your canvas. Don't be afraid to do that, for sure. Coffee break, stay hydrated. Anile, how you doing? I'm going to try and say that sentence in a minute. In about 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Because I have no idea what you said. Alright. Where's some low-hanging fruit? What's looking janky? What's looking off? I would like to just be more bold with my decisions, let's say. Like with the hair. Whip some tone in. Don't be such a pansy. Alright, just get it in there. It's digital. You can always erase it. And for you guys especially, no one's watching. So it doesn't even matter. Alright, so this really should... Here. No, that flattens it all out. What have we got? 3 minutes. Let's knock it back. And do one last quick pass. I'm going to flip her around as well. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that coffee's giving me indigestion. Lips. Boom. There. Cheek. Side of the head. Think about the 3D structure. That's going to come up here. Big ear. Why not? Eyes looking in this direction. Back of the head. Make sure we don't forget that. Neck in front. A little bit of that cheeky shadow. Never goes astray. Alright, let's give a little bit of volume to the tank top. Now that's wrapping around this arm that's coming to ever so slightly towards us. Ever so slightly. Alright, arm in front, crease. Hands, boom. Kind of hands. You get the idea of a hand, but if you don't, just don't look too closely. Alright? Don't look too closely. You get the idea. Up here. Back around we go with the tank top. What have we got? Minute 40. Yeah, we can do it. Don't even worry about it. In front. Here, crease. And now, this isn't a... I'll preface... Well, it's not preface because I'm already quite literally almost at the end. But I'll mention this isn't the fact or the reason we're doing this isn't to be fast necessarily. It is to reduce our thinking down to the bare minimums to get the idea across. That's it. This isn't show off time. This isn't, oh, look what I can make in this time period. The time is purely for us, for you, not for anyone else. Is to prioritize our thinking, prioritize our shapes. "30 seconds. Can we tie this together? Ankle here, crease the toe here, boom, boom. This is in front. This is like a weird illusion kind of thing, but this is going to cut through, so it cuts off that heel because it's behind. Back of the arm. This really should come through. This knee's way too big. And we got 0 seconds left. Let's just fix that knee. That's a bloody chunky knee. All right. Something to start the day off with. Not amazing, but it's given us an opportunity to get our brain working, right? In front and behind. That's what I was thinking about with this. To simplify it even more. Ben Big is Edlin, Super Trooper. What's going on, my friend? I hope this is appropriate. Me encanta tu trubajo. Yo también estoy debuyano. No idea what I just said. Don't even know if the enunciation was correct. Analay draws. Could you whip that in Google Translate for me? I find drawing some boxes and cylinders as quick exercise helpful for getting into drawing mood. Me too, Thumb Guns. You and me both. What do you think about AI in Pinterest? Finding good reference is too hard now. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not having that issue personally. Because I've used what I've gotten before. Like, for example, here. Right? All these traditional... all this, most of this traditional stuff, like a couple of AI things I'm sure is snuck in here. But you can kind of I don't know if that one is or not. But if you get... I'm pretty sure that one is. If you get like a board with stuff that you like, right? And then you can pretty confidently say, yeah, it's good. It's like no AI. Go to more ideas, and fingers crossed it doesn't give me any crazy shit that's stream friendly. But then it just gives you more ideas And this is what I pick from most of the time. It tends to give me a better result rather than just going like freeform Pinterest search, if that makes sense. The pronunciation wasn't great, but it was fine for a first try. Okay, yeah, it was the first try. So now I'll take that. Constantinus, how you doing? Translation, I enjoy your job. I too enjoy drawing. Oh, fantastic. Sketchy Squirrel, what's going on? Top bloke here. It must be your algorithm. Maybe. I am very conscious on what I click on though, as well. So I won't spend a bunch of time like clicking on stuff that I don't want to see. You've got to start training your algorithms. It's like a very simple assistant that just takes everything literally. Okay, good little warm up from like the line work standpoint. Nothing crazy here. Let's go shape. Let's hop into shape and color land, shall we? All right, we'll do another 15 minutes with this guy, and then we'll see if we can combine the two somehow. I think that's a good plan. Can't say I do sketchy. Thank you, that's a good one. I've noticed there's a very specific color aesthetic that AI goes for with stylized stuff. Yeah, it does. It does. You can start, and that's the interesting thing. It'll just, there's like a smell to it. I don't know any other way to put it. All right, let's get our encompassing shape. So I'm going to go for something similar to what we did the other week. Or did we even do it? Yeah, we did it last week. But something along the lines of this. Pushing the colors where they otherwise might not be there. But giving ourselves leeway to push the colors, keep things in context, right? Keep the values in context so as that we can play around with the colors however much we want. Now get this color picker out of here. Let's get this one here. And I'm going to be using shout out Filthy plugin. Links in the description. You don't have to use it. As I've said a few other times before, an alternative which will give you for the sake of our goals for this warm-up, get yourself a nice round brush, flatten that bad boy up. So if we go window, brush, settings, all right, come to tip shape, flatten it, okay, turn off transfer and shape dynamics. So then it's just chisel town, boom, 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 right? I might even whip in some of this at some stage throughout the, what would you call it? Throughout the warm up or the sprint or whatever we call this, these 5-minute things. All right. So give yourself something to play within. I will scale this down for Instagram. Don't forget to poison your artworks against AI when you publish. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you could do that. I haven't looked into them yet, but if I'm honest, I haven't published anything for quite a while. But I might think about doing that because I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny if it works. Top bloke here. AI loves a good specular highlight. It loves it. But I don't blame it. I mean, specular highlights are nice. Okay. Keep it small. That would be my hint for this. keep the reference small. Right. On a layer above your art, write F off AR before posting. Miss Trin, how you doing? Great to have you. Okay, let's restart the timer. Okay. 15 minutes on the clock. I'll give you a moment. So you have two options, filthy plugin or lasso tool or whatever, or the rounded brush squished option. All right. It's Constantinus. Yeah, exactly. But then have you heard any more from them? Is it? No. It's just like this. It all comes in waves as well, like the Ghibli stuff, the Ghibli, however you pronounce it. You don't see much of that around anymore. So it's all just like, that's why I just don't, I try to stay away from all the Twitter and stuff, because it's just like people like rage bait and stuff that's just going to go away. Like it's just all going to come and go in waves. All right, my window AC is in, my setup is back together, and I'm tired as fuck. Now, do I draw, Blender, or game? Whatever you feel like doing, artistic. Whatever you feel like doing. All right. Timer, starting. In 3, 2, 1, go. Let's try the largest shape I see here. Is the old trench coat. So I might just see if I can whip in. Oh, come on. I don't even have filthy open. What an idiot. Okay. Is to just slowly look at some of these shapes and see if I can just pop them in. I'm gonna do some cheeky hue shifts, you know. What it's my stream and I'll do what I want. But I think you can also do that with a version of it. It's not exactly hue shifts with the brush, but this just gives me a little bit of color variation just off the bat. Let's have a look here. Boom, boom, boom. Also, squint down can help. Okay, that's, I mean, this looks like nothing at the moment. That's fine. That's what we expect. Now, one danger, let's not call it a danger, but one thing to consider is our proportions. This guy is a little bit too large, so I might have to scale him down just a smidge to get everything to fit where I want it. But there's an opportunity I'm seeing, like I'm thinking a little bit further ahead. There's an opportunity here for some shadow in the back leg. There's a very subtle lighting setup with this, which is quite nice. I like. All right, so we got the blue. Pump that blue up. There we are, just like, we're kind of finding this shape. It's just gonna come together, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Can't wait to have a bit of time to set up the traditional setup as well and do some of this in gouache. I might need a little bit more than 15 minutes as I get used to it, but gouache would be good fun. Or even oils. Oils make more sense to me than gouache, personally. All right, even this head has a shape, like this, obviously the head has a shape, but like the hair has a shape to it. Maybe not that shape. But we can do whatever we want to fix it. Okay, let's get these socks in. Socks, but we still want to think about a little bit of the anatomy. Just a smidge. Right, boom, boom, boom. Right, and then le shoe. Shoe there. Le shoe here. Okay, we got like a clip art. It always ends up looking like clip art to begin with. But then we can sculpt. Because you need something on the page to, or the canvas or whatever you're doing. You need something to judge everything else off of, you know. Then we can come through and start deleting things. So this whole shape here doesn't make much sense. Squinting our eyes down. We're not worried about light or shadow to begin with. We're going for local color. Now I might do something a little bit different. I might start whipping in some of the darks, like just the darkest darks. Let's call them occlusion shadows. All right. Just to see if we can get a sense of, I don't know, it just looks, it just makes it, because I want to, okay? I don't want to explain myself to you all the time. No, I'm joking. I just couldn't find the words. Let's have a look. Like the darkest darks, where are we looking for? So a little bit of an indication of the lapel. There's it slowly happening. Something's coming together ever so slightly. An indication of some of the hair. Now I'm using a multiply layer. That's where what I'm on at the moment. Okay. Squint down. What am I missing? So there is this subtle shadow that we might want to whip in here if we're feeling like it, to show that the hand is like in front of the body. Again, none of the colors are the same. They're completely different. Doesn't matter as long as we get the relationships feeling kind of cool. Kind of cool as in like good, not temperature. All right, let's get some of this white in here. Right there, right there. Nice. Let's get finessey. What time have we got? Oh shit, yeah, we need to get cracking. Multiply it. Let's get some of these shadow shapes going, but like some lighter, very subtle shadow shapes. So we've got some here. That could even be a little bit on the more subtle side. There's like a nice fold here. Now what I was talking about with the back leg, we could do that to really push it back away from us. Let's make it more blue. Now again, this is a multiply layer mode, but I'm being mindful of how dark I'm going. So you can really give some nice subtle shadows with the multiply layer by not going like super dark, even with the saturated the saturated colors, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. There. Yep. Let's get something going with the shadow of the jaw. Little indication of the ear. And this is, I love these for warm-ups. Honestly, like it's really, really good fun. Because you're already going in it, knowing that it's not going to be super detailed. You're just focusing on the shapes and the relationships between these like abstract-y kind of relationships between the shapes. It's good fun. Now I've merged them down so then I can start to use the palette that we've built up, well, to add the shapes a little bit more carefully. All right, give that indication of the hair. What else have we got? We've got a little bit of this sneak in of the blue with the sleeve. All right, now I'm seeing like a nice little greeny kind of light happening here. So I'm going to go screen. I'm going to try that for way too bright. Way too bright. What if we do, yeah, something like this feels a little bit better. Maybe even a little bit too bright still. But yeah, if you're feeling stuck and you want to try something different, highly recommend just giving this a go. This kind of, and if you're not used to doing it as well, it's like a nice, just something different. Just something different. Okay. Yeah. Let's make our blue shirt show a little bit more volume, a little bit more realism. I'm not even worried about the head. The head details, pff, get out of here with that. Let's squint down. Where's some more opportunities? Where can we find some more opportunities? Let's add a little bit of color variation in the face, let's say. It's like quite washed out. All right, and we're really, let's merge it all down so we've got some wiggle room. So we've got the nose. So this is a good little challenge. How do you make something feel like it's meant to feel right, but it's like super low detail? That's the hard part. That's the real tricky bit. Could be a good little practice as well for like background characters, if you're doing stuff like that as well. Here, let's add in a little bit of that brightness. A little indication of the, oh, it's got to be so small. I can barely select the pixels to get it in there, you know. Let's make sure we're getting our relationships down. Darken some of this up. Let's add some of these buttons. Les boutons. Yeah, indication of some of these buttonholes. We can even come through and add screen layer to add some light. Too much. Get out of here. too much. Not today. There, nice and subtle. I do like to work up my lights and my darks kind of slowly. It feels a little bit nicer, more like a glaze if we were to talk in traditional terms. All right. Here, indication of a bit of a crease. What we're missing a nice opportunity with the chin here. Wrong. Here, shadow underneath the head. That makes it feel a little bit nicer. Do we add a bit of shadow? What time have we got? Oh, we've only got 30 seconds. So let's ground this dude on the floor a little bit. Oh, I'd like that to be a little bit bluer. So let's add a little bit more blue. Cool. Do we even worry about adding eyes? Something like that. Zero seconds left. Good stuff, everyone. Pens down, pencils down, stylus is down. So yeah, two very different ways of warming up. Equally as useful, I think. Miss Trin, I haven't been around for a heck of a while, but I'm wondering, do you draw animals, or what is your most recent animal art example? Poor, good question. What is my most recent animal art example? It's kind of sad. I don't know if I've got it. But my little Ollie boy, who is no longer with us, here he is. A few weeks back. I don't know if you can see. I was drawing him when he was asleep. So that's kind of my most recent animal kind of sketch. So that's like traditional pen on paper. That's what I want to keep that. I want to frame that. But yeah, that would be my most recent animal one. Havoc Daddy 21. What's going on? I like that name. I love this pose choice as well. Yeah, it's good. It's a little bit dynamic. This one feels very stiff. But I mean, we had 15 minutes. What are you going to do? Action Gamer 09. I'm struggling. Line art. Give me some guidance. Okay, is that a demand or a question? Joking. I've got a YouTube video on that if you want to check that out, which could help. You'll be able to find it. It's one of 4 videos that I've only got up. Thun Guns. Appreciate you. Man, for weeks I've been doing deep dives on color values in simple shapes and relationships, as you keep saying. Watching you do this now is helping this whole thing click. Fantastic, Lewis. That's awesome. Any tips for drawing hair? Yeah, think of hair just the same as you would think of anything else, like a solid structure. Think of it like that first. Is going to help you a ton. Again, it depends what kind of hair. Are we talking about fluffy, luscious locks? Are we talking about straight hair? Are we talking about dreadlocks? There's a whole spectrum of different types of hair, but regardless, thinking of them as solid masses first helps me out a ton. Miss Trin, thanks for sharing. It's a lovely pup. Oh yeah, he was awesome. He's awesome. I miss him. All right. So let's see what we can do with this guy. So there's a nice little lean that he's got going. He's like coming into a corner. Might be riding home from work or something along those lines. So let's see if we can get down a sketch. Of something. Whoa. Need to recalibrate the brush. There we go. But yeah, I'm from the animal side of things. I'd love to do more dinosaur stuff because I love dinosaurs. Loved them as a kid. Still love them. Something cool. There's just something about them. Joe, what's going on? Now I'd want to let's push the stylization maybe of this guy. Let's see if we can, even at the sketch phase, push some of the shapes. So he's got his bag. Maybe the bag's flapping a little bit. Let's get this out of the way. All right, so feel free now. It's like now we're freeform. We're freeform, figuring stuff out. No time limit. How about we give him like real skinny little legs? And because we're changing all the shapes, we've got to take into account what we're changing here as well. All right, here, his hand's sort of between his legs. It's not going to be like that here because we've changed some stuff. So this leg's going to be slightly lower. Bikes are tricky, but if we simplify them down, hopefully we can get something looking kind of okay. Still want to keep that angle with him as well. Should draw some of those MonsterVerse monsters. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea actually. When I'm back in drawing mode and not in building, or not 1000% locked in building course platform mode, I'm looking forward to experimenting for sure. So one way that I could simplify that bike is to lock it in to like a plane, let's say, because at the moment, like the wheel's not really turning that much. So we've got an opportunity to just lock the wheels in there. Maybe get his head poking out a little bit. We could even have him look behind a little bit as well. That could be kind of cool. Like he's looking. I'm just going to give him glasses just for an easy head direction kind of thing. He's kind of looking behind for traffic. And you do this enough times and you realize that the sketch is, at least for me, never looks like the final. Right, let's see if we can tie down some of these things. Someone asked about animation earlier as well. I don't think, I can't remember if it was thumb guns or not. It might have been. Have you drawn animated walk cycles? I haven't. That would be a fantastic experiment. Because I think you want to get good at drawing and you want to get good at drawing bloody fast. Animation. That's one way. Definitely. because you have to. You got to know what you're drawing for all the pieces to feel like they're cohesive, to make them feel like they're make them feel like they're fitting together, you know. All right, even this back, I'm thinking about the center line. All right, you got the scapula here. That would kind of be a little bit more forward, actually. Thinking about it, I'm not incorporating it to the final. Probably not. Who knows? I do like a good skeleton. And even like what we've done here, where is it? Here, the simplifying of the shapes, we can do that with stuff like this. Looking for clues, let's say. I do love a good forearm, a big old forearm, so I might give him like massive forearms. But like the hands here, this is a really, really good opportunity to look for clues of how, like a graphic shape of what this looks like. So I'm seeing this kind of like that shape here first, then I'm seeing this shape here, and then quite quickly we get that indication of the thumb. Not perfect by any means, but it's like something just to put down as we go ahead and refine. Now I'd like a bit of movement with that bag, so maybe the bag's actually flicking up a little bit. If we think about the connection points to him. All right, the bag's here. Then you might have the bag kind of bouncing backwards. He might be going at a certain speed, which this allows. So we've got to keep that into account if we want to go like this, but we're keeping it pretty loose. We're keeping it loose, not holding ourselves to any one particular thing just yet. This is exploratory. How do you know how much you want to exaggerate the shape of the faces you draw? Do you just go with the flow? Alex G, depends what I'm doing. That's a good question. One way to do it is to get like style reference like I've got here. It depends what I want to do. If I really want to... See, this is like a nice one. It's not super exaggerated, but it's got a little bit of stylization, you know? As opposed to, like even this is more on the realistic side, but it's still a little bit stylized. Versus you got the Kim Jong-gi style where it's just like crazy. So I'd try a bunch of things out. Try a bunch of stylizations out of the same face, right? We could like, what was that one that I just, like here, or even this one, like this is beautiful. Like here, really elongated face, super, like I personally with my own work, I'm getting too safe with the proportions, at least on the streams. Mind you, I haven't been drawing as much as of late, but we could see how we could get a little bit of this essence, let's say with the shapes, and test it out, because you don't know. If you don't draw it, you don't really know, right? Don't be afraid to experiment, because if you never give it a shot, you don't really know what works for you for the particular character that you're drawing, or what one drawing might might warrant a little bit more stylization or a little bit more exaggeration, versus having it reined in a little bit more and a little bit more refined and skews more to the realistic side of things. But then there's like all these different sliders within those segments. You could have something that's more stylized, but the proportions are stylized, but the rendering and the line work is more realistic, or vice versa, or only parts, you know what I mean? So you can really go crazy with it. And this is where experimentation comes with, you know? So maybe I like the idea that he's got that kind of vibe going on with him. But again, just like our warm up here, in front and behind, in front and behind. This whole chunk, this whole torso is going to be in front of this head. Right. And this leg is going back in space. Maybe we really like make it super exaggerated with his legs are kind of quite small, but then his calves, kind of like his forearms here, they just go like boom, boom. He's got like amazing genetics for like calves. All right, you can do it here, like even more, come through. Yeah, and just play. Play. And it might even be worth, as I mentioned before, doing the same character but in different styles. And that way you can really see it. It's like more of a, not scientific, but I'm going to use that word. It's like a true experiment. It's like, okay, what's the baseline? The baseline is a more realistic. Oh my goodness, indigestion. It's killing me. Lana, what's going on? I might dip my toes into animation, then I have to get good fast. It's a bloody good idea. So if we've got, like, let's try this. Tangent time. This is what the streams are. We go off in tangents. It is what it is. So more, I mean, let's think more realistic, okay? I'm not too concerned about the reference, but just more proportions wise. Okay, we've got the ear really, I don't even know if I can draw realistic off the top of my head. I've done stylized for too long, or just long enough. Let's say if we were to, I guess, like skewing more on the realistic side, maybe. Right, this head, not really dramatic at all. The ear. Oh, I can't help but stylize it. So I'd need reference for realism, definitely. But hopefully this gets the idea across. This is, I guess, like more on the realistic side, at least like proportions wise. I'm just going to keep him bold just for clarity. All right, and maybe he's got like the facial hair. Okay. Just as like a whatever, just to give him something. That looks terrible. Let's block it out a little bit. And a lot of the realism as well can potentially come with like the shading and the shadows and that kind of stuff. Versus pushing these shapes even simpler, we could go like ultra simple. There's another style. Which I quite like this style for like quick drawings. Still has some depth. All right, very quick sort of sketches. And if you wanted to really take your time, you could try and get the same likeness as well. Or we go again and just keep going again and again and again. Try stuff. Like there's kind of an in-between maybe. Which is kind of where I like to be a lot of the time. Where I feel most comfortable. That kind of semi-realistic. Right, so you got like a spectrum that you can play around with. I mean, it looks like a bit of an egghead, but hopefully this makes sense. And if I'm honest, I don't like any of these ones. So then there's a little bit of, like with this one, there's a little bit of flavor of this, a little bit of flavor of this, and a little bit of flavor of this. You got to experiment. Give it a shot. You could even play around with the proportions, so you could really make that head shape drop down there. Smaller ears maybe. Yeah, because I think there's a lot of fear with like it not looking right, if that makes sense. Like it's a lot of it for me is iteration. And if I don't give myself the freedom to iterate, I don't find the answers. Right, maybe because this is kind of elongated, maybe the glasses are a little bit more elongated to account for his elongated noggin. That makes sense? Yeah, his Loki get more and more elongated. Yeah, exactly. But then you could like squish him up as well. You could really like I do so many different things. Squish the head completely, you know? That's going to change the whole character, the whole head shape. The one thing that you might see with all of these is that I'll start simple. Start really simple. I want to redo this guy. This guy kind of looks like Mario. Well, see, and then we can just refine and refine and refine. Nice one, artistic. I've been feeling kind of down about art this last week, but I'm going to keep trying. Why is that, Lana? I'll start a new life as someone who's never heard of drawing. Oric Official, how you doing? I would like to remove the transfer. Lana, honestly, I think that's not a bad idea. I feel like you're not getting better. I'm just stuck where I am. Maybe I need to go back to fundamentals. I think go back to fundamentals with a goal in mind. What do you want? What do you want to be drawing? You know, what's the thing that gets you going when you see it? Because that way, at least you've got a goal and kind of an indication of when it's working. When you're like, okay, cool, I'm getting better. What does better mean to you? Better at what? Also, complete side tangent. Picked up Fortnite, playing Fortnite again with my partner. It's crazy how the muscle memory just comes back. Just like anatomy is starting to make me crazy, but maybe it's more practice. Yeah, Anatomy for what though? Is it for drawing your own characters? But also, if I ever see another arm that's too long again, it would be too soon. Well, there's definitely ways to mitigate against that. For example, when we did this one, you do the technique of like enveloping it, I guess. So you know if you're using reference, that's as far as you can go. Right? That's the top of the head. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. That's as far as the arm's got to go. Right? So that's one way to do it. Also, a good little trick that Diego Lucha said was to draw the extremities first. So like the hands, like where you want the hands, and then connect the arms. For example, if I was to draw this guy, let's say you have the head here. Cool, you got kind of the body pose. Where do I want his hand? I want his hand to be like here, and I want his other hand to be like down here. Now we've got to fill in the rest. Oftentimes a lot easier to put the hands where you want them first, then go back and fill in the arms. Give that a whirl. See if that helps at all. This is not what I was meant to be doing, but I'm stuck now because I didn't like the look of these ones. So I've got to make them look half decent. Yeah, Diego's great. He's a character. Now this one reminds me of what is, was it Doug? No. From back in the day. Yeah, see, realism off the top of my head is not my strong suit. Because his eyes are going to be back. Eyes are going to be a lot smaller. It's not even realism, but you get the idea. Miss Trincher, no worries. Nah, I enjoy a good a good tangent. No stress at all. Like, this is not realistic at all. Everything's just got to be that little bit more, a little bit smaller, because I just like train my brain. That's the thing. You train your brain for long enough, that's the groove that you get into with all the lines that you put down. Do you sometimes stream when using traditional medium or only digital? I have done streams traditional, if you go in the back catalog, but I'm planning to do some more traditional streams. I think I've done oils and gouache, but I want to incorporate them back again, definitely. Okay, look. It's not realistic, but it's on the more realistic side of things. It kind of goes to show, like, yeah, there's such a variety of different ways you can go about doing things. Right, a whole bunch of different head shapes. I liked what I got going on here. This more elongated, kind of simplified vibe with a little bit of that 3D-ness. Still got some of that dimension to him. Maybe the sun's in his eyes a little bit, so he's squinting a tad. Let's refine this part here just a tad, just a smidge. Awesome, I have seen a few of those in the history. Great to hear you plan to do more of those. Great stuff. Appreciate it, Nicholas. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to doing them. I've got one, looking at one every day. Like, it's dusty as anything, but this is like an oil, like a stylized oil kind of thing that I want to do more of. I want to finish her off. I can't remember if I did this on stream or not. Oh, is that in focus? I don't know. Lighting's not amazing, but yeah. But yeah, that's the thing, like all these principles that I'm talking about, they translate so well to traditional. Like, and those are the sort of principles that I focus most on, are the ones that you can, they just cross the mediums borders. Nor, my pleasure. Thanks for popping in. because then you can translate them into really any media, like sculpting. I love sculpting. I want to like, even content wise, like merge it all in, you know? The sculpting, the traditional painting, the digital painting. The digital stuff is very convenient for showing ideas quickly and getting stuff out there. No, this has got to be straight, like real. Still waiting for the Procreate group. I know. I've got an old as iPad. I think it would overheat. Dongho Kim. Yeah. Fantastic resource for perspective. He's great. He's really, really good. Might even roll those sleeves up. Now I think the head is a little bit too tucked in. Can you get it on the computer? I don't think you can get Procreate on the computer. I'm waiting for him to come out with a Mac app. Don't know if it's ever going to happen. I would love that. That'd be very cool. One thing from a sculpting standpoint, though, I think Nomad Sculpt's coming to the desktop as well. Sometime soon, I'm pretty sure. Joe, I certainly have. I've been known to do it on stream as well. Love a good digital sculpting session, that's for sure. See, I might even turn this, like I really want to do the lighting. So like it's like sunlight showing that like end of work day. Like it's very not nostalgic, but I just know what that feels like. Because I used to work in the city. And like I didn't bike, but I used to longboard. And I used to just love that time of day. Cruising back to the car. And it's a really cool spot where I used to park as well. It was across the road from the zoo. So if you get it just at the right amount, just at the right time, they're like putting the giraffes into their enclosure, like the nighttime enclosure. So you could almost sometimes see the giraffes sort of like walk or like have their like evening dinner or whatever. It was very cool. It was very cool. There's a city there, Lana. I don't live out in the middle of nowhere. We do have a city. We also have running water, electricity, obviously. But yeah, no, Adelaide City's really, really nice. Ben lives in the bushes. Okay, let's see if we can... Now, this is interesting. This is a nice little thing. The pant leg is up because of the bike chain. So this pant leg can stay down, potentially. I thought it was like rural with like a corner store or something. No. No, I'll show you.
With Cold Power's unique cold water enzyme, clothes live.
It's like a whole thing. There's an art gallery. Yep, my favourite place is Adelaide Botanic Gardens. There's like... Yeah. Just come through here. Because I used to walk through here. Like, yeah, you got this all like foresty bit in there. You've got this like whole old... It looks like a T-Rex will like pop out at any time. I love it. Like, it's so cool. So I like used to walk home or back to where I parked my car in this spot. You've got like the indoor kind of thing. These images don't really show it very well. But yeah, it's like a whole... Yeah, this is the opening to it. So then you've got the whole city. Yeah, it's bloody beautiful. Botanical Gardens are one of my favourite spots here. Oh yeah, it's a big... Yeah, it's not... I mean, on global terms, it's tiny. Even for Australia, it's tiny. Because then you've got Sydney. It's like, that's a whole other ball game. But the cool thing is here, you're about half an hour away from wherever you want to be. You could go to the hills, like up in the hills where you got like wine country sort of stuff. You've got like, you go a little bit further, you're like out in the bush. There's also this place called Monarto Zoo, which I think is the world's largest open enclosure for like animals, and it feels like you're in bloody Africa. Like, this is maybe like an hour's drive away, and it's like a full like safari park. I think it's the largest one in the world, second to South Africa, I believe. But no, it's wicked. I've got to go back here again. In fact, let's have a look. My phone, I don't even know if you can see that. That's me at Monarto with my partner feeding the giraffe. I don't know if you can see that. That was wicked. That was a fun day, feeding the giraffes. Okay, back to this fella. I mean, do we even want him on a bike? Is there some different vehicle? Have you been to Sydney? I have. I have. It's massive. Maybe you can direct help me to a video, or possibly in the future make your own later on. I struggle with the details of the human face, most times fitting the eye with the nose curve for a side view. Funnily enough, I've got a nice little video that's in the editing booth. I don't even know, I don't have an editing booth, but it's in the files on my computer that just needs a little bit of massaging, a little bit of love and care that will hopefully help you out with this. Giraffes, aka boring dinosaurs. It feels like that. How massive they are. It's unreal. Now, I haven't exactly done research for studying as of recent, but I'd like to hear what you have to say and give me a direct route to something, since I know you are like me on how you care for art. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, this video that I've got waiting to be released soon. We'll talk all about the skull, right? To give you a little. Let's draw some. I mean, what's a stream without a skull? But it talks about how I break down the skull into these sort of key parts. So you got this part, which is the what I like to call almost like the scuba goggles of the head. Then you got the cranium. Then you got the upper jaw. And then you got the lower jaw, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, and that helps me a ton. So hopefully it's going to help you when it releases. The zygomatic arch. There you go. Yeah, there's all these nice little landmarks that you can use. Now this is looking a little bit too boring. So even this here, this part of the shirt could fold in front. So this is behind and this is in front. So this is the indication I'm trying to put in. find that center line. Bit of that collar showing could help sell it as well. It's kind of an unfortunate angle where I don't get to see the other side of the hand. Just how we've stylized him. Hello Ben, I just got to the stream. Is this reference Ian McKee? I'm not entirely sure if I'm honest. Yeah, maybe. Sheldon, how you doing? Could you could theoretically use the mind to view the reference from a different angle? You certainly could. And I think that's a good practice as well. You're being cheeky, but I don't disagree with you. So here we're refining. Still sketchy, but we're still just refining the forms, helping them sit. And even like these are the things I'm talking about, like that right there, the back pocket. This one's going to be facing us more, and this one's going to be potentially right off to the side, depending on the angle that we're looking at, you know? Kind of bouncing all over the place. I'm trying to make you do it actually. Are the subliminal messages not working? Oh no, I was thinking about it. You got to me. You're getting in here, Thumb Guns. He could just as easily right now be on a bloody broomstick. You know? Ah, Miss Trin Trin, I like it. I like it. And this is the thing, right? You can just start adding layers of story onto this stuff, particularly when you start moving away from the reference. Maybe that's a bit extreme. Maybe he's not hitting the corner that hard. Is it just me, or is he starting to look like Ben? You whip a hat on someone. McPobre. I've talked at length about it in previous streams. I should make a, I don't know, a link instead of going over it again and again. Okay, now I'm taking some cues here where there's some real darks. Happening where like contact is. So there's there's like a shadow direction, right? The very long nose face shape, that's indeed Ben Thungans, how dare you. The very long nose shape. I mean, you're not wrong. Planning on a likeness stream soon. That's a good idea. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting the mechanical parts in, and we've got to make these feel like they're sat in some sort of 3D world. Let's find the touch points of where they will be. The tires. Round thereabouts. Not going to be perfect. This is where a little bit of that perspective comes in handy. Anale draws. Me gustan tus prácticas. Me motivan mucho a dibujar. Okay. Damik, what's going on? I'm gonna guess. Me gustan tus prácticas. Something about practice. Motivation. Much motivation. Dibujar. No idea. If someone could translate that for me. Anale, you're too kind. It sounds kind. Very good Spanish. Yes, you get. Oh, I did get it. Nice one. Drawing is dibujar. Okay. Huh. I like your practices. They really motivate me. Oh, look at me. I'm learning on stream. We're going to be multilingual before we know it. Carly Guya, what did you major in school, or are you self-taught? I went to university for industrial design. I quit after a year, and then a lot of it was self-taught, doing courses and that kind of stuff. The J is pronounced as an H. Okay. So dibujar. Is that correct? Yep, dibujar. Interesting. So let me see if I can get that again. Me gustan tus prácticas, me motivan mucho a dibujar. I would really like to learn Spanish. Dibujar. All right. There you go. Yay, Ben is Spanish. Matt, hi Ben. Do you have any Spanish? Yeah, that's what it is. Ben, do you have any books, videos, other resources you recommend for someone first getting into digital drawing, painting? My first question to you would be, what do you want to do? And that will give you a lot better, indication of where to start. Miss Trintrin, it's actually very similar to English. Easy as long as you keep practicing it like art. Yeah. Yeah, I reckon it'd be fun to learn. And then we do like a full Spanish stream where I just don't talk. I'm just like, hola. And then we just draw it. So here I'm just trying to build up some sort of connection between these mechanical parts, right? And a lot of this is just simplified shapes. It's obviously a cylinder or an ellipse that has a central point that is going to hold the wheel, which then connects to these two parts. And then it just depends on how careful you want to be. I'll be very sketchy here. Rodrigo Facha Oi from Brazil. How you doing? Thanks for popping in. What brand and size drawing tablet are you using? This is a Wacom 32 Pro. Not sponsored. Trying to outdo Ben's shape exaggerations. Go for it. So yeah, as I might just do plugs now, just to get them out the way. If you like what you see and you want to see more, see me diving deeper, check that little link in the description. See an 8-hour 10 chapter walkthrough tutorial. You also get a 30-page PDF field guide. I want to do the plugs in Spanish as well. Artes Dalton, I'm from Brazil. Nice one. Thanks for popping in. I'm a textbook illustrator here in Brazil, and you're an inspiration for me to study more. That's awesome. That's awesome, Rodrigo. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm liking this forward motion that he's got going on. Just got to make sure that these tires will be feeling correct. Pushing those arcs. But yeah, sorry. If you want to learn more, yeah, links in the description. Check out the Gumroad. Soon to be on Drea, which is my new course platform that I've been building with my good friend Francis. We're going to be doing a closed beta May 1st for those that want to check it out as a content creator that's looking to do educational content. Oh my goodness. The filthy plugin that we used earlier on, this little guy, where you can fill in stuff super quickly. Links in the description, you can check that out. And yeah, you know where I'm at. You can find, I mean, you found me already, so good job on that. But yeah, gonna have some cool stuff coming out very, very soon. I'm gonna transition that Gumroad tutorial onto Drea, and then I'm gonna be putting out some cool stuff. I can't wait to show you guys what I'm working on. I think that abroad people call it publishing. Yes, yeah, I get you. Cool. I'm liking where the sketch is at. And maybe we utilize this kind of start mixed with the line work to then maybe next stream, figure out how we can get this feeling of riding home from work, dodging the traffic. Does he have earbuds in? Probably. I do like when you hold. I'm just trying to think when I hold a bike handle. There's like the fingers on the gears or the brakes all the time, so that I'm taking a little bit of this left hand and throwing it in the right. Adds a little bit to the realism instead of just like, yeah, holding on. And maybe we add our little quokka friend. He's got like a little helmet or something. He's like holding on. I can't remember how to draw him. Who knows? With that, I think I'm going to let you guys go. As always, it was a very chilled stream. Very low key. I learned something. Key takeaways I took from this one is the in fronts and behinds, and also taking my time with this more mechanical stuff. Right, this can all be figured out if we take our time and think about those simple shapes to begin with. Right, and being a little bit looser with my sketches as well. Being a bit looser, having this stylized reference on the side here did help a lot. The Devil's Name 123. Thanks for popping in. Nah, glad you came by, Miss Trin Trin. And everyone else in chat. And for those that aren't in chat but are watching, you bloody legends. It's an absolute honor and a privilege to be able to do this. Quick little recap. Started off with this quick sketch as the warm-up. Did some more shapely color shape warm-ups, and then we ended up with this bike dude based on this little piece of reference here. So yeah, I reckon next stream we come back, and what I'd like to do is give him a nice, like, clean him up a little bit and give him a nice little vignette of his surroundings. Like, if you can imagine that, and then we color him in a certain way, or even give him a full background. We'll see how that can go based off of this reference. That could be fun, I reckon. Awesome. All right, with that, I'll let you go. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks again for popping in. I love doing this. I look forward to this every single week. And I will catch you next week, 10:45. Oh, this coffee, I tell you what. 10:45 a.m. Australian Central Standard Time. 4:30 p.m. PST on a Sunday. Monday in Australia, Sunday PST land. All right. Thank you again. And I'll catch you next week.